What's going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Legion of Raw. I am with the former WWE head writer, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Vince Russo. How are you, man?
What is going on, Dr. Chris? How are you tonight, man?
Doing well, man. It's Juneteenth here in America, and it's something that's been going on since 1865. But hey, a few years ago, we finally made it to something, and it has a lot of meaning to it. For those who don't know what Juneteenth is, go and study it yourself. It has a lot of meaning to it. It's rich history that comes with that I wish that were taught in schools and so forth. And it's good to be a part of a culture to celebrate it in America. And people get paid holidays off of it now. I didn't, because I had to work as a therapist all day, while people got to enjoy their paid holiday. That's what I do to sacrifice for my family, Vince Russo.
Very nice. And just so you know, I ride along with you, worked pretty much all day today. So yes, I did not have the day off either. The WWE did have the day off, though, like they have many Monday nights off.
Yes, indeed.
Bro, I got to tell you, I used to come on here and really be pissed off after watching this show, because I just used to get pissed off about the wastage of my time. I don't get pissed off anymore, bro, because I think I've finally accepted, bro. It is what it is.
Mhm.
It is what it is. This is a job. Me and Dr. Chris get paid to this show. They're not going to change.
Yep.
Bro, they've got their 1.8 million people that watch this show, and they're happy with that. And they're going to continue to be happy with that. They're not going to attempt to get new viewers interested in this show. So, bro, it is what it is. I can get as upset as I want. It's not going to change anything.
Yep.
So just watch it and, write your notes. And, when we talk about it, just be honest, man. I will say this, though, bro, without a shadow of a doubt, I just saw a 3-hour Raw with, I can't tell you how many wrestlers on here. The most believable one of the entire night happens to not be on the WWE roster, and that's Logan Paul. Bro, I don't know what the deal is with Logan Paul, bro. I don't know if they try to tell him what to say, and he basically says, no, bro, nobody's going to tell me what to say. I don't know if they don't even bother to tell him what to say. They kind of just let him go out there and freelance. But, bro, far and away, you can look at every single promo on this show, and you can look at wrestlers that have been with this company for over a decade, and he far and away was the only one that came across tonight as a genuine human being. Everybody else came along as, AI clone robot wrestlers with the same non-emotional promos. And I got to tell you, bro, for me, he was really the only part of it. Now that segment, of course, was a joke wrestling segment. I love the way, bro, it winds up with the non-wrestler being the only one left standing. We've talked about that before. It really shows you what the WWE thinks of their roster.
Mm-hmm.
But from a performance point of view, this guy to me is the only believable person on the entire show.
I think when I saw that, Vince, to me, and what you're saying now makes sense as far as why he seemed the most believable, because I see someone like a Logan Paul very similar to Pat McAfee. Both have leverage. Both don't give a lick about the WWE. Their careers are built outside of the company. So when they come inside of the company, it's more of a plus. It's more of a bonus in their careers that are already established, well off.
I agree.
From the WWE. compared to everybody who's in the bubble, their heart and soul is in WWE, so they have to go by the direction and everything else, and you can't even really refute or have any rebuttals or have any pushback. You can't even have that space. But if Pat McAfee or Logan Paul pushes back, I mean, they're probably going to get what they want because they're bringing something to the company from a crossover appeal. Same thing with Bad Bunny, although Bad Bunny is more of a yes sir, no sir type of person because he's so enamored with the company right now.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee and Logan Paul, they don't care. they don't. I mean, like, so you're telling me to say this, and if I say this, and McAfee was, he was going off script and doing the whole Nakamura dance, and Michael Cole loved it. I mean, he was just having fun, and he's not with the WWE anymore, and he's signing $7 million deal for ESPN. So he's making moves. I mean, College Game Day. That he's still being featured in WWE because Seth Rollins is going to be on the show tomorrow. So he doesn't need WWE at all, but at the same time, everybody else in the WWE in the locker room, they don't think outside of the company because they're really kind of pigeonholed to think that you won't be anything without the company. That's what they have. That's what they do.
There's just, you're right, Chris. You're 100% right. There, for me, there's nothing to cling on to. There's nothing to put your hooks. There's nothing there. And bro, it's like, okay, bro, they came up with the Abbott and Costello comedy routine between Owens and Zayn, and now we're just gonna beat that horse to death. That's gonna be their thing every single week.
Yep.
It's, again, bro, I'm not going to get mad anymore. I look at it this way, bro. These are all professionals, from the producers to the wrestlers themselves to the writers. These are all professionals. This is not, in my opinion, this is not a professional show. What do you mean by that, Vince? Well, here's what I mean by that. I watch a lot of television during the week. It's one of the things that I do. When I'm watching television, I am watching professional productions.
Yeah.
I am watching believable directing, believable acting, believable dialogue, believable conversations. When I watch this show on Monday, nothing is believable. Nothing. Like I said, bro, the only thing believable on this show was Logan Paul. And like, here's a perfect example, Chris. Somebody please help me with this. Please help me with this. So Seth Rollins promotes an open challenge last week. Okay. So here he's ready to go out this week. He's attacked by Finn Balor, and the match never happens. The open challenge never happens. Meanwhile, he's got a match scheduled with Bron Breakker on NXT, and Rollins tells us at the end of the show, he's going to be at that match. Bro, I got a better idea for you, Chris. I have no idea why you would promote an open challenge and then not have the match. Here's what I would have done, Chris. And it would have gotten you to the same exact place and whatever you want the finish to be at NXT. Bro, do an open challenge. Okay, Rollins goes out there, open challenge. Guess who answers it? Bron Breakker. They have a knockdown, drag out, heck of a match, bro. False finishes, could go either way. Then Finn comes out and gets the same heat.
Yep.
After Finn gets the same heat, we go to Rollins. No. It ain't ending that way. That's not the way it was supposed to end. As a matter of fact, on NXT this week, Bron Breakker, we're going to... Bro, I can sit here and I can give you that in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But no, what do? And bro, you can't call it a bait and switch because you don't pay to really watch this show. but they promote an open challenge. You tune in to see an open challenge. They never give you an open challenge. For what reason, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And if you would have done it the way I just laid it out, you'd be at the same exact place when he wrestles Bron Breakker at NXT.
I think that's a fantastic point, because a few things makes much more sense than what we saw. First of all, Bron Breakker was there, so you're not going outside of the box because Bron Breakker was there because he had an interview. And then why would you have an open challenge today if Seth Rollins could have lost the title, but you're still promoting Bron Breakker for tomorrow? And so it would make sense if Bron Breakker accepted the challenge a day early to lead to whatever, because it's hard, because even if Bron Breakker were to beat Seth Rollins, they would still have a rematch tomorrow because they have a match on NXT. So no matter what, you're getting Seth and Bron. So anybody other than Bron Breakker wouldn't make sense as far as believability. But Bron Breakker would make sense because then you're still trying to do this split thing, but you're not really doing the split thing. But an open challenge does give people an opportunity from, I guess, either brand to come, and it'll make sense for Bron Breakker to come. So if Bron Breakker accepts the challenge, which he should have, then you have Finn Balor, who doesn't want Bron Breakker to be the one who defeats Seth Rollins. He wants to be the one who defeats Seth Rollins. He doesn't want anything to come in a way with his Money in the Bank match, because it could be a triple threat, for instance, at Money in the Bank. So he doesn't want anything to come in the way. So then he calls his Bron Breakker the match. So it makes sense of what you just said, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to promote tomorrow's NXT match. So great point there, fair point. And I think what they should have done is exactly what you said. So I agree there. I agree with that 100%. We got some super chats here. Joseph Gonzalez, $4.99. If they had no intention of having the open challenge match tonight, what was the point of advertising a weekend?
Exactly. What was the point, Joseph? Because you're going to tune in to see the open challenge. Then you're going to find out, there's not going to be an open challenge. So, okay, I'll go watch something else.
Yeah. And it just didn't make any sense with the bait and switch too. I mean, why would you even promote it if it was? So here's my question to you, Vince, with this. Do you know from what you understand and what you know from being backstage and working backstage as a writer, do you think they already had this in the books to be this no contest last week when they promoted it?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Yes, absolutely.
So they did all that just for no.
They did the whole thing, bro. I'll tell you why. They did the whole thing because they set up the NXT thing, and now Seth is going into NXT hurt.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, is Bron Breakker gonna beat Seth because Seth is hurt? That's why they set the whole thing up that way.
Yeah. Do you think that Bron Breakker has any chance to beat Seth Rollins?
I mean, he should. It's what I would do, but it's not the obvious. So
so that would make Bron Breakker beat Seth, and just I guess that automatically makes him a part of the Raw roster. Where does this leave Finn Balor for Money in the Bank?
I guess you could have a match between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins to see if Finn Balor gets his shot or Seth gets a rematch.
Okay. So you would have that can only happen next Monday because Money in the Bank's a week from Saturday. So
fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely have that for sure. Do you make it a triple threat, or do you do the one? Do you do like a non-finish for the Rollins and Finn Balor match, like maybe they brawl or double count out or something like that, and you make it a triple threat? Or
you could do that, and then because now you have 3 people in there, so you could protect whoever you want. If you want to protect Seth, he beats Finn Balor, never beat Bron Breakker, And if you want to protect Bron Breakker, he beats Finn Balor. Obviously, Finn Balor is the guy in this match that doesn't mean anything. He means absolutely zero. So yeah, bro. Whoever you want to protect will be protected because the other guy will take the fall on Finn Balor.
Yeah, I wouldn't be completely opposed to that, actually, as far as Bron, because it's a way. I mean, I do think it was a lackluster way of introducing him to the main roster by just some backstage interview. I mean, I do think that was a bit anticlimactic, but I do think it's a way to push Bron Breakker early. I do think he has the presence, he has the tools to be pushed early, like he was in NXT. So it would be a change, you know what I mean? At least it'll be something that would be different than the weekly house show mess that we see every single week. So.
Yeah.
Awesome Sauce 220. Vin, as an Italian New Yorker, what is the best pizza?
New York style, bro. New York Italian style, man. I used to have a place, believe it or not, it wasn't a real Italian fancy name or anything, but if you go back to Long Island, New York, in Lake Ronkonkoma, New York, there was a place called Pizza Stop. That was always my favorite pizza, far and away, bro. Far and away.
Generic name, but I bet you the pizza's not generic.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. We got Joseph Gonzalez once again, 499. Logan Paul embarrassed Butch. He said, I don't know who he is, dwarfed him, and KO'd him after. That's why the crowd can't take these guys seriously.
Yeah, the Sportskeeda Nation knows what they're talking about. Yes, bro. That's what boggles my mind, Joseph. That's what I said. You've got professionals sitting around in a room discussing this all day long, and nobody sees what Joseph just pointed out. Okay. All right.
You know what the crazy thing about this is, Vince? I mentioned this before in previous shows, is that you have 6, now 7 potential number 1 contenders for the World Heavyweight Championship. You get a outside celebrity, YouTube influencer. He comes in, he makes all the 6 frequents look lesser than he is.
Yeah.
And then you also have Bronson Reed, who's continuing to make 2 of the 7 number 1 contenders lesser than he is, and he lost the match to be.
Bro, this shows you how time has changed, because this problem is twofold. Number one, again, I'm going back to the Attitude Era because that's when I worked there. This would have never happened. Mm-hmm. You always protect your talent first. The talent are going to be there 365 days out of the year. The talent is always going to be protected. That's number one. Number two, if you didn't protect the talent, bro, trust me, you were going to hear from them. And what they would say is what I just said. Vince, we're going to be here 365 days of the year for the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. This guy's going to be gone next week. So how do I benefit? How does the company benefit when you put him over me? Now I'm damaged goods and this guy's back on TikTok.
Yep.
That's the scenario, bro.
That's true,
man. It's that simple.
Yeah. That's what we see when these celebrities come in and they just look better than everybody else, man. So it's not a really good look on how you're pumping up your roster now to be. I mean, he comes in, he comes out, and he looks better than everybody.
Bro, that is telling you what they really think about their roster.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's telling you. This is telling you what Triple H and Vince McMahon, how they honestly feel about these guys.
Yep. It's like one of those. It reminds me of, like, I think of like a social psychology standpoint. It's like you and I were, really good friends and we talk all the time. And it's just one of us take advantage of each other's presence and be like, oh yeah, Vince will be there or Chris will be there. And we just kind of talk, and then we see somebody else that we haven't seen in a while. And you could be like talking to me about your whole life and just pouring it. And then someone I haven't seen for a while, I just completely lose attention for you and go, hey, how's it going? And like you're pouring your heart out to
Yeah.
me and
Yep.
doing all
Yep.
these things to me, and
Yep.
I completely just lose it and just go somewhere else to someone who I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And I give them much more attention and much more love and much more affection than I do you, who I'm taking advantage of our friendship right now, and you're pouring your heart out to me.
Right.
That's what that stuff like that. That's what it reminds me of. You
Yep.
got all these people who are pouring out their heart and soul every single week as a part of the brand. You see somebody you ever seen in a while, and you just completely divert your
Yep.
attention to them. So
Yeah.
that's what it
Exactly.
reminds me of.
Yep.
We got Seam Pa 550. I think he's cutting a promo on you, Vince. Hey, buddy, Vince, you crap on in this year. You are not Indian God. I challenge you to Punjabi prison match in my hometown of India, where I walk to Colorado.
I don't remember crapping on Indus Shear at all. I remember crapping on the creative, saying I don't have any faith in the creative to do anything with these guys. I remember vehemently saying these guys are very, very, very impressive looking, and I believe that they would hurt you. I just have no faith whatsoever in the way they're going to be booked.
Yeah, I mean, he can cut the promo on me as much as I can. I've told you before, I'm just not connected to them. I just don't feel them. And we saw it even more, and we'll talk about it. So I saw it even more today. I mean, they just don't connect with me, man. We got Bala B 199. How would you end the bloodline storyline, Vince?
Oh, bro, I don't know. I pitched that thing on the other show about when you asked me about Drew McIntyre. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody coming in now and defending Roman and backing Roman because everybody has turned on Roman, and their argument could be the case that Roman made every one of these guys. The Usos would saying nursery rhymes before Roman took charge. Sami Zayn was nothing before Roman. And then, basically have somebody befriend him, have somebody, have his back. A baby face would be the best because now you think he's a heel, that he's got Roman. And then, have, from the inside, have this be the person that's going to defeat Roman Reigns. That's what I would do. Bro, I got to tell you, I watched, listen, guys, I'm not going to watch wrestling on a Friday night. I'm not going to watch wrestling on a Saturday night. I have something called a life, and pro wrestling does not supersede my life. Again, you want to pay me. I told Raju, you want to pay me to watch a Collision? Let's have a conversation. I work for a living. If not, then I'm not going to watch the show. But I see the stuff online. Bro, I swear to you, man. I don't know what it is with me. I have pet peeves, Chris. I will admit this. I will admit that. Paul Heyman acts like such a freaking buffoon. If you just watch Paul Heyman ringside and look at his reactions ringside, no person in real life would ever act that way. You know who would act that way, bro? Like cartoon characters, like Wile E. Coyote would maybe act that way, or Foghorn Leghorn. No real person would act the way and react the way that this guy acts. And I'm watching this breakdown on replay on YouTube or whatever it is, and I'm just looking at this freaking buffoon, and I'm gonna say it again. Bro, make Paul Heyman an animated character. Let him be animated. Let him be a little short, heavy-set, bald guy, and let him just waddle out there. And then he could make all the cartoon faces that he wants, and it would fit. It's so, bro. Anyway, that's what I would do with somebody's got to step in now. Somebody's got to step in and point out the fact that this is how you show your gratitude to this guy who put you on the map, who put you in X amount of main events, who made it possible for you to have championship matches, who made you X amount of dollars. if he had my back the way he had your back, there isn't anything I would do. Somebody's got to come in and do that.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this: when it comes to Paul Heyman, have you worked with Paul Heyman before?
Spotty,
Gotcha.
very, 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 very limited.
Was it so? I guess really, if I'm thinking timeline wise, the ECW invasion was the only time you worked with him?
Nah, bro, I work with him at the ECW invasion. And then, bro, I actually, when I was the head writer of TNA, I actually suggested to Dixie Carter to bring Paul Heyman in. And why? Because I felt from a creative perspective, he could help the company. I'm not afraid of him replacing me. I have all the confidence in the world in myself. I'm that guy. I'm the complete opposite. Meanwhile, bro, here's the scoop. That you can they can post some more if they want. When Mike Sanders, who was a great talker,
above average,
was going to come over to Raw after the WCW, buyout and whatnot. Paul Heyman did everything in his power to prevent Mike Sanders from being hired. If you don't believe me, have Sanders on the show and he'll tell you this story himself. Okay. I'm the complete opposite. If you could help my company that I'm working with, I'm going to bring you in with open arms. I wasn't afraid to bring Ed Ferrara in, who was a professional writer, and I sure as heck wasn't afraid to bring Paul Heyman into TNA. But what happened, bro, was Dixie Carter set up a meeting between Paul Heyman and USA Network, not USA, Spike TV, that Dixie Carter did not go to him with. So now it's just Paul Heyman and Spike TV. And what did Paul try and do? He tried to go over Dixie's head. He tried to go over everybody's head. And he tried to convince Spike TV that they needed an executive producer of the show to be the top guy overlooking everything. And who was that executive producer, bro? Of course, it was Paul Heyman. And when Dixie found out what he had done, obviously at that point, she was not going to hire him. But that's why shortly thereafter, Eric Bischoff became the executive producer, because Paul convinced Spike TV that, Impact needed an executive producer when we never have one before. And bro, who do you think was the guy that suggested to Spike, okay, bro, now that Paul convinced you need an executive producer, you know who that executive producer should be? Who do you think was the guy, bro, that suggested Eric Bischoff?
Vince Russo.
Absolutely, bro, because he was the best guy for the job based on his experience, with Turner and TBS and everything he did over at WCW. And that's when he was named the executive producer of Impact, which I never had a problem with because Eric's very, very, very good at that job.
Yeah. I get along very well with Eric. I've interviewed him about 6 or 7 times. He's oftentimes talked about how he just couldn't stand his Impact run. Why you think that was the case from working with him?
Because bro, he wasn't in charge. I mean, it was Dixie. I mean, at the end of the day, it was Dixie. And bro, listen, I say this all the time. Okay, people think, bro, I got heat with this one. I got heat with that one. I hate this one. I don't freaking hate anybody, bro. Hey, Chris, come on, man. You and me as Christian guys, hate is a very ugly word. I don't hate anybody, bro. And I've said this all the time. Bro, when Hulk and Eric came to TNA, they had all the best intentions in the world. They did. They really believed. They really believed that they were going to be able to give WWE a run. And I
Yeah,
used
they even had a head to head. They even went to
yes.
Monday
And bro,
nights.
I would try to educate Eric about Dixie.
Mm.
That bro, she's not going to do that. She's not going to. Eric, I used to try to explain to him how Dixie was, and that he became very frustrated because he wasn't able to do the things that he wanted to do and the things that needed to be done. He didn't have the ability to do it. So I think that's why he was, extremely unhappy at TNA.
That makes sense. Yeah. I thought the head-to-head thing was a horrible idea.
It was a horrible idea,
They
bro.
wanted
But bro, I'm telling you, they did not do it maliciously. They really believe, bro. When they made that decision, and they told me, Chris, my whole thing was, guys, simply from a financial point of view, you can't compete with them financially. There is no way. If the two shows are back to back and you go from their show to our show and you see what these two shows look like, you can't compete with them financially.
True. Even from a production standpoint,
Right. You
that's the
can't,
thing.
bro. Absolutely, man.
That's the thing,
but
because
like,
they had the talent.
yeah,
Like TNA has some strong talent. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But at the same time, from a production standpoint, if you're looking at two wrestling companies head
yes,
to head,
yes,
WWE has premier production. I say this all the time. I am
yes,
very dissatisfied with the product, but the production is top notch and has been for decades.
yeah,
And so you're going head to head with WWE's production. So if I'm in a focus group and I'm just looking at two wrestling shows head to head, and I'm looking at the production of WWE versus the production of TNA at the time, it's night and day. You know what I
right.
mean? And
Yep.
that alone is going to draw me away from
That's
TNA
what
if
I
you're going
said,
head to
bro.
head.
That was my exact feeling at the time, Chris.
Wow. Yeah. Very interesting. Coulda, shoulda, wouldas, and just reflecting on those things. And it didn't last long, the head to head, and it went right back to, we further in the week. So we have Rollin 499 super chat, bro. WWE is usually consistent with video packages that celebrate special historic holidays. Was there any kind of acknowledgement in Juneteenth or Raw? Interesting.
There wasn't, was there?
No.
Bro, you want to? Can I tell you why? Honestly,
Please
you're
do.
gonna think I'm nuts.
Please
I
do.
guarantee you, Vince doesn't understand what the holiday is.
You don't think
I
so?
guarantee you, bro, it's something that he can't wrap his head around. I guarantee you that.
I would not. I would not oppose. That to me, that would not be a surprise.
Yeah.
Not whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
And the holidays older than he is, much older than he is. So older than his father is too. So that would be interesting to know. Someone needs to school him on what Juneteenth is about, and maybe we'll get a video package next year.
I got to address somebody in the room and I'm not going to mention them by name because they didn't pay, but I think the 6-sided ring was the downfall of TNA. Bro, TNA was drawing 2 million viewers, bro. 2 million. What would Dynamite do for 2 million viewers today, bro? Come on, man.
They hired a bunch of people for shiny new toys. They can't. They're getting 2.5 times less of that right now. So I mean, they're barely scratching 800 at this point.
2.5 times less on a network that is far bigger.
Oh yes,
than
yes, absolutely.
TV was.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Yeah. We also have Steve Soleil 199 super chat. Bro.
Yeah, he's a loyal brand member. Very nice.
He is. Realistically, Logan Paul would knock Rollins out.
Yeah.
Shoot fight. What do you think? What do you think?
Oh God, yeah, bro. Come on. Bro, this is the guy that went to bed with his wrestling buddy Hulk Hogan. Come on. Bro, come on. Stop, man. Come on.
That would be interesting. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. From what Seth Rollins has said, I think he was on the Austin interview. He was talking about how he's a legit shooter, and he was he accosted Vince McMahon one time and was getting big with Vince. Man.
Who, Seth?
Seth, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that.
Indeed. We got Alisara House 550. Show presentation is so lazy in WWE. It's just a boring flat screen Titantron or floor level ramp, bland white robes. It hurts me as a visual artist. That's a good point. I remember when they used to do their sets used to be a lot more I guess
Specific for the show.
it was specific for the show, and it was more they put more effort in it. It does look very bland now. I think for the sake of the overhead, they're just doing the same set, just like that. But I mean, I remember when sets used to be like even the theme pay-per-views used to have his own sets too. But I think from a standpoint of just overhead, that they're not going. And the thing is, they had the set pay-per-views. They put a lot more effort into their sets before, and their bottom line was a lot less than it is now. I mean,
bro. I'm telling you, it's literally, think of the WWE as an assembly line now. That's what it is, bro. It's the way the wrestlers go through the system. Then they come through to the show. Then we have the show, and then next week we repeat the same exact thing. It literally is like sitting on an assembly line. Like I said, bro. Okay, bro. Owens and Zayn are Abbott and Costello now, so that's their spot every week. Abbott and Costello. Okay, guys, we're gonna have a 6-man main event at the end of the show. Like it literally is like putting parts in a PC board, and then you've got your final board at the end of the show, and it's the same every week.
It's a 3-factor model with the WWE. Oftentimes, it's the same style match, different week. 1,000,001 backstage interviews, house show finish. That's the method of WWE programming nowadays, man.
Yep.
And that's what we saw. That's what we saw here too. Let's see here. That's it for now as far as super chats. Let's go through the show here. We got Seth Rollins coming out, getting attacked by he comes.
What about Jake Carter, bro? What about this?
Jake Carter?
What about this pimple on my derriere, bro? Russo is trash. Yeah, he has some good opinions, but he hasn't done anything great for any company he was in. Hey, Jake, what exactly have you done, my friend? What have you done, bro, that the world knows your accomplishments and what you did? Jake, tell me, please, seriously, bro, come back and tell me, Jake, what you have done in your life that is so outstanding.
Gotcha. Oh, he's got a don't even say his last name. He doesn't even deserve that.
Oh, please, Jake. Jake Pimple on my big fat butt. How about that as a last name? How about that, Jake? Does that work for you, bro? All right, let's get on with the show, please.
Who else was the roast? Try to roast Vince.
The highest ratings in the history of the professional wrestling business, that 25 years later they've not even gone near, and I've never accomplished anything with any company I ever worked with in my life.
Man.
Okay, Jake.
People just want to think with how they want to, and they have no
brain
facts. Well, that too.
Brain. Let's just say brain.
Let's just say brain. Seth Rollins comes out, gets attacked by Finn Balor in ring multiple times. Look, when I thought about this, and I don't want to go into detail with a lot of this stuff because it was just basically the same stuff from last week in different variations. But this is what I thought about this. Why did the open challenge stop though? Like, just because Finn Balor attacked Seth Rollins, wouldn't that give an opportunity for someone to come out and have an advantage though?
Especially, bro, since before the show ended, He made it clear that he's going to wrestle tomorrow night. Well, then why don't you wrestle tonight?
Tonight. Yeah, I was thinking the same.
There's still time left on the show. Why aren't you having your open challenge tonight? Exactly. So what, bro? I'm going to rest up and heal up tonight, but I'll have the match tomorrow. Yep. And then you're going to go on there and say, oh, I'm going to be a fighting champion. No, you're not, bro. No, you're not. Yeah. You're going to go home with your Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy, and you're going to sleep on it, bro. You know, your wife's going to tuck you in, maybe sing you a lullaby or two, because you ain't wrestling tonight. So if you ain't wrestling tonight, bro, now we got to stop with the I'm going to defend this title 24/7, bro, because you're not.
That's true. And if he was well enough to cut a promo, why can't he just go back to the ring if he was a fighting champion? So, yeah, to me, it just made sense for someone to just come out there and just win the belt, man. Why not, man? Just
that's what I say.
Something different, man. Do something different.
That's what I say. Yep.
Then we get to, and then after all of that, we get the Miz cutting a promo saying that he's going to show Seth Rollins what an open challenge looks like. Tommaso Ciampa comes back. He returns and accepts. He wins the match. Do you think this was, and there's one super chat we'll get to in a minute. Do you think that this was a suitable return after 9 months for Ciampa, or do you think it was very anticlimactic?
Very anticlimactic, bro, especially because now I'm sitting here, I'm saying to myself, well, weren't these two tied 9 months ago? Like, how am I supposed to remember what happened 9 months ago, bro? How about you tell me that story first, and maybe Miz hints that Ciampa's coming back. He's going to be in whatever the story is. But now he's coming out, and I'm like, man, bro, I swore they did something a long time ago, but I can't remember. They don't cover it in the story. Nobody says anything. So, no, bro, this ain't the way I'm bringing Ciampa back.
No, man, and especially when you had an opportunity to hit a reset button with Ciampa.
Yeah.
And you have him come back with The Miz, who hasn't won a single television match all year. And you have Ciampa come without even explaining, but to the announcer's booth, why he's going toward The Miz. And what made it even worse is the crowd could have cheered Miz, and so that didn't help Ciampa because he was in his hometown. And what made it worse is that the same person who's lost every single television match went 50-50 in the match with a returning Ciampa. And so to me, this whole segment was not a good way to bring Ciampa back.
No, bro, again, how many times have you heard me talk about setting the table?
Yes.
They know when the guy's coming back. You put a plan in place so when he comes back, he gets the pop. Yeah. And we start him off hot. You ain't starting the guy off hot with a win over the Miz. Everybody has beaten the Miz, yes. Bro. Everybody on the roster has beaten the Miz several times.
I think if he would have came in and just demolished the Miz, I think that would have helped him a bit. But as soon as the Miz started getting offense, I said, "Oh, it's ruined." I mean, it just messy. Gets the DDT, then it goes back and forth, and he has to come from behind against the Miz, who's lost every match. I thought it was a bad call, man. I thought it was a very bad call. We got Alex 499 super chat, bro. Dutch Mantel said yesterday that Booker T was difficult to work with in TNA. Is there truth to that? What's the story with that?
He was a little difficult to work with at TNA. Bro, I'll tell you this. I'll be honest with you, bro. Some of the greatest guys that I ever worked with, and I consider them friends, when they came from WWE to TNA, they were difficult to work with. Because all of a sudden, bro, they were the big fish in a very small pond. And it was different working with them. It really was. I'm just being honest. Listen, I love Booker to death. Mick Foley was the same way, bro. They when they came to TNA, bro, that was the most difficulty I had working with either one of them was at TNA.
What was difficult to work with, with Booker T?
I think what was difficult, bro, was you had a lot of young, no-name guys, and they just were not going to put these no-name guys over. I remember vividly. I wanted Booker to put
Matt Morgan.
Morgan, and he wouldn't do it
Mm.
flat out. And I said, okay, Book, no problem. We'll get somebody else to do it. And we did. So they just had a hard time, for whatever reason, bro, giving these TNA guys the rub.
Now, here's my thing in defense of, I guess, Booker T and Steve Austin when he refused to put over Brock. Now, was it more of a sure I'll put him over, but with a story, or was it no, I'm not going to put him over at all?
It was at all.
It was at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's a whole different thing, because if you put them over with a story, like I can understand how someone doesn't want their legacy to be tarnished. Just some random one-off, episode of Impact Wrestling putting someone over without anything that comes with it. There's a lot of money on the table that's unfair for the person, the legend, to get the rub off of him to put someone over randomly. But if you're not willing to put someone new over or newer over at all, that's a whole different ball game,
bro. It's a television show, man. It ain't real. It's a freaking television show, bro. Like, with all due respect, it's a TV show. I remember, like, bro, there was a time when I was just a talent at TNA and I was not writing, or I was not producing, and they told me every week what to do. And unless it was just something that was just totally like, bro, like, are you serious? I went ahead and they did I did what they wanted me to do, whether I agree with them or not, because it's a television show, bro.
Yeah, I think it's important to, like, for instance, I think that The Undertaker or Bret Hart or someone like that, they wouldn't just, if someone or you or anyone else were just like, hey, we want you to put over some talent today, or that's like a mid-card talent that we're trying to push, I'm sure that they would have pushback too. I mean, like, just because you're using my legacy or you're using my name to make you look better. So I'm sure, like, it makes sense from a business standpoint. But at the same time, like I said, at all, it's like, okay, Buck, I mean, you're at the end of your run at this point. I mean, you need to start making other people look good. And that's interesting, man, because from what I've heard from you, when I've heard from a lot of other people who work with Book, when he was in the WCW, especially WCW, he was super, approachable. And
Absolutely.
really,
And bro, listen, he may have he may have his reasons that I don't know about. I mean, honestly, bro, it was a long time ago, and I'm sure, he had a reason for why he didn't want to do it, but he didn't want to do it, and he didn't do it. But like I said, if you talk to him, I'm sure he has a reason why.
Now, Foley ended up being champ, and this was after, if I'm not mistaken, his run was after the. I mean, he had a bunch of retirements, but didn't he? It was after his WrestleMania match with Edge. If I'm not mistaken. Well, so Foley's TNA run was what?
Oh God,
bro! Had to be about 09, maybe somewhere around there. Were you around? Were you at 10-8-09?
Oh yeah, I worked with Mick.
I thought so. Yeah, because his match versus Edge was, I believe, was 2007. SK Nation, let me know as far as the time is concerned. I think his WrestleMania match was in 2007, and I think he came to TNA around 09, WrestleMania 22. So that was 17 years ago. So that was 2006 then. Okay, so that was in 2006. Was WrestleMania 22, because this one was the past one was 39, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was 39. Yeah. So it was 20. So it was 2006. Yeah, 2006 is when they had it. So he came to TNA after that and won the world championship. What was the rhyme and reason of making Foley the champ? You remember?
I can't. I can't remember, bro.
Really?
I can't. I can remember though landing at the airport at I think it was MacArthur Airport by Mick's house in Smithtown, Long Island, and him walking through the airport. We filmed it all with Jeremy. Him walking through the airport with the belt and telling everybody he was the new TNA world
Oh,
champion.
really?
Yeah, it was freaking hilarious. Yeah.
So I was right. He was there in 09. He won. He beat Sting. He beat Sting for the because he had a random heel turn too. That was a bit awkward to me.
Bro, I just love the hostility in this chat room. Like
Oh,
these
is it really? I'm not even looking at it.
yeah. Russo is usually full of crap. Yeah, bro. I'm a 62-year-old grandpa, bro, that's sitting on here with my friend Chris, and I'm lying about things in professional wrestling. Chris, I there are times when I want to drop the jack, you know what, but I don't, out of respect for you. But you guys, you're a bunch of jack, you know what, bro.
Yeah.
Like seriously, at 62, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna lie about professional wrestling. That's what I'm gonna do.
Here's the funny,
Get a freaking life, bro.
I always think of things from a psychological standpoint. That's the reason why stuff like that is just absolutely hilarious to me. Think about it like this, Vince. You've got people who either comment here or in the archives, in the videos. You and I, we get paid to watch Raw and to talk about this. So regardless of who says what to us, is not going to change or how we get paid. So I don't care. I really don't care. So here's what makes it even funnier, Vince. The same people who are commenting on the chat room and in the videos or whatever are the same people who are helping our algorithms to reach more people, to get more subs, to give us more money. So, hey, thank you all. Thank you all very, very much. And look, these people who are commenting, like, think about it like this, Vince. It is currently 12 midnight here Eastern
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So you have people like right now, they
yeah,
out of all of the options they have to do with their life.
Yeah, you're sitting here, bro, at midnight watching me and Dr. Chris talk about a 3-hour shiznit show.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
bro, and you're and I'm the loser, bro. I'm getting paid to do this.
Yes.
Are you guys getting paid to watch this, bro? I'm getting paid to do this.
It's midnight, and they're like,
oh,
crap, instead of going to sleep and going to work tomorrow, they find it in
one guy said on here, like,
oh, your boy Jake said it's actually 2 p.m.
There you go, Jake. Yeah,
on a work day. It's
somebody said something on here that is so true, bro. With wrestling marks, bro. The majority of wrestling marks, bro, there's no logic.
Mm-hmm.
I come on here, bro, and I talk facts and logic. That's what I talk. I'm a big believer in facts and logic. These people are just illogical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just you can't talk logic.
Yeah.
To them.
Yeah. Again, Vince, I'm a psychologist, dude. I know how people think, man. That's the reason why stuff like that does not bother me.
It doesn't, bro. It's not that it bothers me,
it's
but
sad
it's
to me, really. It's like,
to me, it's like, are you really that stupid?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's
well, Vince, the answer is yes at times.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
seriously, bro, are you really that freaking stupid that you don't understand? Like, gee, manitly.
People, like, think about this, Vince. Like, they will never be able to be in your shoes, okay? They'll never be able to rewrite WCW or rewrite the Attitude Era or rewrite TNA or even get paid to be a broadcaster or a pundit on Sportskeeda, okay? They won't be in that space. So what they want to do is they want to show their misery by making you less happy about being in this space right now. And so they take pleasure in wanting you to feel lesser than yourself, man. That's unfortunately how miserable people act, and that's how trolls act. You know what? You know what, Vince? Dr. Chris is in session. Okay, so the root of trolls is loneliness, statistically, and from data. So people when you see on these webs who are trolling,
Can I
they're lonely people, man.
can I address WWF Fresh, who says, "Why are you wearing women's glasses, Vince? You want to know why, bro? Because your mother left them under my bed, bro. So rather than waste them, I was like, you know what? Let me throw them on for this show with Chris. Hey, Raju, if you're watching and listening, this could be the AEW collision show,
Oh,
right?
see,
I even said to him,
I'm
Chris,
for it, man.
I
Us
said,
colliding with the
don't
marks.
give
I'm
me a
for it.
co-host. Don't give me a co-host. Me and the marks with their comments, bro.
I love it. I
If
love
you
it.
don't think that's money, Raju, I don't know what to tell you. But WWEF, whatever, bro. Tell your mom if she wants her glasses back to email me, bro.
Yes,
What's
indeed.
next, Chris? What are we
Yes,
talking
indeed.
about?
Someone said it.
Let's talk about get Joey in here.
We'll get Joe in a minute. Someone says I'm putting a master's degree to work. Well, first of all, I have a PhD in psychology.
Yes.
I have a master's degree in psychology, and I have 2 other master's degrees. So how about that? Put it out in your pipe and smoke it.
Yes.
All right. So let's bring in Joey. Where's the timeout?
WWE Fresh, Vince.
Man,
If I
don't even
saw,
say his name,
wait, no,
dude.
bro.
Like,
If I
that's not
saw
even
you
worth
in person, I'd slap you across the face. You pig. Yeah, I
boy.
bet you would. WWF Fresh. I bet you would, bro.
Okay,
Get Joey in here right now.
here's the thing. Before you addressed it, man. This is fun.
What?
So
Raju, this is the show, bro.
This
Put
is it
me on here with AEW marks, bro. I'll do a 3-hour show because if they want to go, we'll go, bro.
so
Go ahead.
if I saw you in person, I'd slap you across the face, you pig. Okay. So think about it this way, Vince.
Bro, somebody said, Vince, your mom left her bra at my house last night. Unfortunately, bro, my mom's been dead for years, bro. So I don't think that is a real possibility, bro. Did I lose Chris? Chris, where you at? I think I'm still here. I see the clock. Did I lose Chris? Chris!
I don't know. I have no idea. Somebody must have cut me from the backstage.
So somebody said my mom left her bra under their bed. I'm like, bro, that's a little impossible. My mother died years ago, bro. It must have been somebody else's mom.
Yikes. I have no idea. It must have been somebody from the backstage. Sportskeeda must be like, oh no, let's cut it. But so what was I talking about? Someone. Oh yeah. So someone saying that they'll slap you in the
Just
face.
slap me, they see me, bro. Yeah.
Just think of it this way, Vince, real quick, and then we'll go
Yes,
go through the list. You have so much power over WWE. I'm not even gonna say his name. The guy who so he is so affected by Vince Russo that he is willing to slap you in the face just because you booked the show the way that he didn't want to.
Yes.
Wow. Now tell me who's the mark, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we go. Let's go with you went to bring Joey in, right? You still want to bring Joey in? All right, come on, Joey. Where you at? Wake up, Joey. Here we go.
Time out, Joey! Time out, Joey!
Bro, we've got Judgment Day. This is what I'm talking about, bro, about assembly line. Okay, bro, we're going to do this from 7 to 7:15, 7:15 to 7:30, 7:30 to 7:44. Okay, bro, now we got Judgment Day lined up.
Yep.
And now all of them are going to talk, bro. And guess what? They're all probably going to say the same thing they said last week, okay? Yep. Bro, six Dominic mic stops.
Yes.
6. I counted them. Yeah. Bro, do you know how awful this is on television? Bro, think about the person at home watching this show. So now 6 times he stops. Is there a person at home calling their mother and father in the other room saying, Dad, you won't believe this.
Right.
The audience stopped Dominic from talking 6 times, Dad, 6 times. Is there any, or is everybody sitting at home saying, okay, bro, we get it. Can we get on with this? I don't need 6. Bro, it is god awful television, Chris. Like I said, if you're there, fine. The problem is, bro, there's less than 10,000 people there. There's 1.5 million watching on TV.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad, Vince, because it seems as if Dom is like, I don't know what to do with this heat. I'm glad that people are paying attention to me, so I don't know how to really control it the way that I want to. It's controlling him. And I think that that's a problem with that. That shows his immaturity as a character right now, that he's allowing that heat to control him. And again, someone who's mature in the business, a few weeks ago, Christian got similar heat in AEW. And he was able to step on that like nothing. And I was like, see, that's a big difference between Christian and Dominic Mysterio, is because Dominic is still immature in the business to allow that heat to control him, as opposed to Christian, who was getting nuclear heat in AEW, stepping over it by continuing to go, man. That's a big difference there. And I think, he's got some time, but I think he needs to be coached, Vince, because people like that, people like the Finn who's been in there for a while, and people who are coaching him, maybe a Shawn Michaels or someone who's in the business, one of the agents, they need to coach him and say, dude, you got to stop allowing that heat to control you so much, because it's showing your immaturity as a character. And that's not how heels get heat. They don't just allow it to control them. They try to continue to get the heat by continuing to talk. That's going to generate the more heat if you continue to talk and ignore these clowns while they're booing you and continuing to talk. That's going to cause more heat.
And Chris, you hit the nail on the head. Obviously, Christian is so more seasoned. And yes, Dominic is young, but yes, bro, there are supposed to be professionals that can coach him through that. Exactly what Chris said. Absolutely, bro.
Indeed. We have Bloodline SmackDown recap. We got some super chats, man. It's not speaking of getting paid. Let's see here. We have Zoo Bear, $5 super chat, bro. Man, that show felt like a house show, especially the ending. Knowing Russo, he would have at least booked Rollins attacking Balor in the ending.
Something.
Yeah.
Another
$5 super chat. Zubair is coming through. Also would love the idea of y'all rebooking every Raw in the end to try to make the show better. Can y'all rebook this Raw and feature Legions of Raw?
Yeah, I can't. I can't work within their parameters, bro. Like, seriously, I'm not going to sit here and try to make chicken salad out of chicken. You know what? I'm not going to try to fix or make sense out of what they did. What's the point?
Yeah, and plus that would be unpaid consultation that's they will receive. I'm sure that they would peek in and say, oh, that's not a bad idea. Zubair with another $10 super chat, bro. Love the idea of y'all reviewing Collision, also Dynamite and SmackDown. If Doctor can't do it after, would be cool. Heck, I volunteer as a tribute or advocate the idea of my buddy Righty Smarkbuster to co-hosts. All right, there you go.
No, my co-host will be the AEW Marks. I'll keep the chat going, and they will be the co-host of the show.
You know what would be even more nuclear? If you just give them the live StreamYard link, and you just have like people like come on the show with you. And just you and them go back and forth, and the other person be live on the show with you for probably 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you just continue to roast them and just slander them.
Yeah.
Just slaughter them and then kick them out. And then the next person come in. well, Vince Russo, I think you're sensible. Well, so is your mom. And it
Yeah,
just go away.
exactly. Right. Exactly, bro.
That would be fun. Zubair, $5 more, bro. Take this on me. Love y'all. Time out, Joey. Don't listen to the haters. Y'all speaking truth. Plus, Russo knows better than smart. So here's the thing: Zubair TV. People are talking about Vince Russo and the show and all these things. Zubair TV appreciates this show so much that he just gave $25.
Wow. Where's my applause button?
Come on, man. That's the reason why the Legion of Raw is the hottest post-Raw show in all of the wrestling webs, because we are real, we keep it real, we tell it like it is.
Well, bro,
Nation.
WWE Fresh once again says Russo hasn't been relevant for over 20 years. But again, bro, it is now 12, what is it? 12:14. And you and your mother are sitting there, WWE Fresh, watching me make money, bro, for a guy that hasn't been relevant in 20 years. You're going to sit there and tell me there ain't nothing else better on right now than me, bro? Like, seriously, I could name 10 other things right now on TV better than me. As a matter of fact, the Giants and the Padres are going down to the wire, bro. Turn over to that game, bro. All right, Chris, I got to kill these comments because I can't. We got to get through this show.
And what's worse is that it's YouTube, Vince. There's thousands upon tens of thousands.
I'm killing the guys. Comment all you want, because now my comments are blank, so I'm not saying what you're saying because we got to move on with this show.
Oh man,
but yeah, bro. Six mic drop. This is horrible TV, bro. Horrible TV.
Indeed. All right, we got a few more super chats, man. Chris Torres, $5. Sportskeeda get a lot of interviews with current WWE talent. Any chance that Vince Russo would get?
Bro, I was thinking about that. See, bro, they don't utilize me at Sportskeeda because
you get 3 shows with Sportskeeda.
Nah, bro, I see Raju interview a lot of these people, and I'm like, Raju, if you want numbers and you want ratings, you gotta have me interview these people, because I love Raju, bro. But come on, he's throwing them softballs. He's happy they're there. No, Raju, if you book Tony Khan, you tell Tony Khan, bro, we're gonna have a guest interviewer. Mm-hmm. And then you bring me on, Raju. That's how we're going to get Sportskeeda numbers, bro.
That would be pretty cool, man.
Yes.
Pancakes and Power Slams. I for years, I interviewed everybody every week. I interviewed a wrestler every week, and that's actually what spawned Unscripted, because kudos to Raju. Shout out to Raju. Raju was a big fan of the Pancakes and Power Slam show. He loved the concept of me interviewing everybody every week. So he's like, hey, can you bring that over to Sportskeeda? Sure, absolutely. That's spawning Unscripted. Before Unscripted was the interview section of Pancakes and Power Slam. So I'm a pretty straight shooter when it comes to my interviewing. If you go to Pancakes and Power Slams and check out my interview history. So I remember one time, everybody's been super respectful throughout the years. I mean, I've done PNP for 11 years now, over 11 years. And there was one person who we got into it during the show because I'm a straight shooter when it comes to interviewing. I'll let you guess. I talked to him on the phone afterwards, and during the live interview, it was one of those things that he was trying to he was trying to like bow up against me, and I don't take that. I don't deal with that, and so I bowed up against him back. And it was really interesting. It was a former WCW World Champion, and I'll say his name because I mean you can go to the dialogue, you can go to the archives and see it. But we ended up talking, and I earned his respect by doing that because he tried to use me as another journalist. I'll try to use my stroke and try to bow up against them, and it didn't work. So it was a former WCW World Champion and former WWE World Champion. I'll let you take a guess. He's won both the WCW and the WWE World Championships.
WCW and WWE.
Yep. So I'll let people someone already got it because he watches PNP. He's a PNP
Who was it, bro? Because I got my comments off.
fanatic. Sid. It was Sid.
Oh wow, Sid's a nice dude too, bro.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone, man, like beforehand.
Yeah.
And I asked him a question about I don't know, it offended him. It was something about probably the We're Live pal or something. It was one of those touchy subjects that he like wished never happened in his career. And he said something like, he was like, don't you know, he's like, have you watched that? Don't you know? I was like, yeah, man, I'm just asking the question for the people who may have not watched that. You know what I mean? And so like he was like, he straightened up like real quick, man.
Yeah.
But he tried to buck up, but I was like, nah, I'm not. I'm going to commit to the bit and not rescind my question. And so I end up getting the question. Now I end up answering. So yeah, that's one of those things that, man, you got to not be a softball pitcher when it comes to journalism. I know that, you know, and I give much respect to Sportskeeda. I have nothing but positive things to say from a Sportskeeda. They treat me like a rock star here, man. So I'm super, and I used to write for Sports Illustrated and Fox Sports. Sportskeeda is where it's at, man. And so, but I will agree that there are softballs still, but we do have working relationships with the WWE and AEW.
You can't.
And so it does. I get why they're softballing, man, especially from Raju because he's the manager. So I understand it, man. I'll advocate for Riju here, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. We got Steve Soleil. Actually, let's just do these super chats, man. I'll run through. Awesome sauce. Fun question. Rank these three in terms of impact, legacy. Dusty, Piper, Foley for me. Dusty is one due to his promos and creating Starrcade and War Games. Two is Piper due his territory stuff and building Mania 3 is Mick. Okay, so Dusty, Piper, Foley. Rank those three Vince as far as impact / legacy. Who do you have?
Oh my God. Bro, I got to tell you, it would be in that order. But for me, it would be Piper first.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be Piper, Dusty, Foley for me. I know for the majority, it would be Dusty, Piper, Foley.
Okay. I would do Dusty, Piper, Foley. Yeah, absolutely. Steve Soleil, $4.99. I'm convinced some of these marks might actually be current WWE wrestlers behind fake profiles because these people can't really be this stupid.
Very nice, Steve.
I will say, Steve, that's a good point, but I think some of them are. I mean, it's 12:16 a.m. Eastern. And so if you're spending your time at 12:16 in the morning, either one, you don't have a job, barring that you aren't excited or just hanging out with the SK Nation, having fun on a Monday night / Tuesday morning with me and Vince and I. For people who enjoy this, our chat room is still absolutely lit. We have fun every single week. It's a good way to, have a focus group therapy session about how bad Raw is with like-minded people. That I'm all fun and games with that. But someone coming in who has a personal vendetta or a bent toward Vince, and some people, I'm a heel to some people too, which again, man, I think it's laughable. I just don't care. But the remarks to Vince is just crazy, man. And for people to come in to this platform at this time to say those things to you is a bit of desperation, man. There you go. Wrestling legend is what it says. All right, I'm gonna go through this, man, and let's just give me a synopsis of the show, and then we'll close up. We got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn cutting back.
Yeah, bro, they got the Abbott and Costello routine, so we're gonna beat that to death every week. Okay.
We got Caden Carter and Katata Chance defeating Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
Yeah, Carter and Chance, bro. Now their record is 1-1, so they'll lose the next. They'll lose the next time out, so we can get 50-50 booking. They're now 1-on-1, bro. So my prediction is go on like DraftKings or something.
Yes.
And the next time they wrestle, bet against them because they got to lose their next match.
There you go, DraftKings. Cody Rhodes interview at the top of the aisle. Indus defeating Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. They get some offense first, but Indus takes them out. Very sloppy match to me, Vince.
Yeah.
Backstage, we get Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. Then we get
and again, this is a situation, bro, where we see the three of them together. Bro, really kabuki stuff here because Riddle has backed up Owens and Zayn before. Here they're in the back together. Riddle gets double teamed a little time shortly thereafter. And again, Owens and Sammy don't come out, but Owens and Sammy tell Cody, oh, bro, you had our back 6 months ago and we never forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, but you forgot Riddle. And it seems to be okay with Riddle.
Yeah. No sense, Vince. No sense whatsoever. We'll get to Rollins in a minute here. We'll close with Rollins super chat here. We get Logan called Paul cutting an in-ring promo, entering the Money in the Bank ladder match, interrupted by Ricochet and then other Money in the Bank.
Oh, this was so bad. All these people in the ring, bro, that mean absolutely nothing. And then Logan Paul cleans house. So the WWE is saying to you, yeah, you're right. Everybody else in the ring means absolutely nothing. Go ahead.
We get Matt Riddle defeating Ludwig Kaiser. Riddle attacked by Gunther and Kaiser post-match.
Yep.
We get backstage. We get a camera showing Riddle getting carried, getting assistance to walk. Then that cuts to KO and Sammy getting approached by Kaiser and Gunther. The teams argue. Sammy gets text messages and Sammy.
Yeah, and they're telling them, they're saying, yeah, we just beat your buddy up out there. And like, yeah, but we were too busy back here clowning.
Yeah, and we got a text message. So
okay, great, super.
No appearance. So what's his name? Giovanni Vinci. It looks like it's a 2-man show for now, man. He's, from what I heard, he's not even injured. They're just kind of writing him off for a second because they're thinking about bringing another person from NXT to be a member of Imperium. So they're contemplating either 4-person Imperium, because Imperium started with 4 people initially because they had Alexander Wolf with them, and then they wrote him off and released him, and then they're thinking about either bringing Ilya Dragunov up to be a part of Imperium or keeping a 4-man team. So we'll see how that goes. Because when Kaiser and Gunther came, Vinci, he stayed on NXT because he was Fabian Ochner, and then they redid his gimmick and kept him on NXT for a second, and then they brought him up to be Imperium again. So I don't know, maybe they don't see enough in him to keep him on the main roster. So we'll see. We get Viking Raiders defeating Alpha Academy. It's 50-50 with them. What's next? DraftKings Alpha Academy wins next.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Judgment Day talk backstage. Rhea comes out. Natalya gets interviewed backstage and comes out. Then Rhea attacks Natalya before the bell rings for no contest. Raquel Rodriguez pre-match interview backstage. Rhea Ripley comes from the ring backstage.
That's what I have, bro. These promos, like, bro, listen, I'm a fan of Natalya. These promos are just so canned, bro. Yeah, and then you got right after that, you got Rachel Rodriguez and Rhea. So freaking canned. Every one of these is so canned, bro.
Yeah, man. Trish Stratus defeating Raquel Rodriguez. This was weird to me because Trish was the one who grabbed Raquel's hair. So she touched her first, or Becky's hair. She touched Becky's hair first by grabbing it. Becky retaliated by hitting Trish, and then Trish gets the win from DQ, and she was the one who started.
Well, bro, again, this is the stupid DQ rule that's been outdated since the Attitude Era, bro. Okay? Becky Lynch has zero connection with Rachel Rodriguez. None. Becky Lynch gets involved in the match. Why is Rachel Rodriguez DQ'd, bro?
Yeah.
The match should have been thrown out as a no contest, and then they should have the match again.
Yeah.
I am so sick of these ridiculous DQs, bro, that are so wrong on so many levels. And because it's wrestling in a bubble, an adjustment is never going to be made, because then it becomes too hard for them to book. Then it's too, no, bro, it's very simple to book if you just go along with logic.
Yeah, that finish was super weird. Bron Breakker backstage interview. Then we get a Becky Lynch backstage interview. And then we get Bronson Reed defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. I knew that was going to happen because Shinsuke beat Bronson Reed a few weeks ago, and I knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
50-50 Shinsuke, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the Money in the Bank match, by the way. Seth Rollins cutting a promo from backstage from some medical treatment facility. He said he wasn't, I guess, backstage anymore. Then we get KO and Sammy and Cody defeating Judgment Day to close the show. Any thoughts on that?
Oh my God. First of all, bro, this thing to close the show, number one. Oh, bro, you talk about stretching time. These entrances were 15 minutes, Chris.
Yeah.
It was 15 minutes for all these entrances, bro. Why do you keep beating Damian, bro?
Yes, I thought the same thing.
Why do you keep beating this guy? This is the guy that should not be beat. You could beat Finn Balor every day of the week. Finn Balor is never going to mean anything. You could beat Dominic. Bro, why are you beating every single week the one guy you shouldn't be beating?
I agree 100%, Vince.
Oh my gosh, bro, really, man.
I saw that. I said, first of all, I was like, okay, house show finish. And I'm like, out of all the people you chose to take the fall, you choose Damian Priest, who's in the Money in the Bank match, who out of all three of them can't afford to be pinned, because that's the one out of the three that you need to peg to be the next star. That's the one out of all six that you need to peg to be the next star. And he's the one getting pinned again.
I guess somebody said it in the chat room, bro. Unless, bro, they're planning on him winning Money in the Bank, so they're going to give him all these losses now, because in their mind, if he wins Money in the Bank, now it's even. Which is
super weird to build a star. That doesn't make any sense. That's like me being an Ohio State fan. Okay, so instead, so what we'll do is we'll have you lose a few games, and then we'll make it even by you having to win a few games. Now you're 50-50. That's going to help you. That's going to help your team out. No, you're going to win as many games as you possibly can, and that helps your actual, status. That helps your status at the time.
I would never ever be beating these guys.
Yeah, I agree. It was a terrible call to have Priest lose.
Yeah.
Rollin, we'll close the show with Rollin. 999 super chat. Do you guys still think that Montez Ford will win the world title at Mania 40? That was more of a me thing than a Vince thing. The draft didn't split the profits. He was sitting in the audience with the fans at Night of Champions. Things look bleak. I want them to. I think it'd be great. I think if it was a heel Seth versus Montez, I think it would be money. But I don't think that they'll do that with Montez. So much money left on the table with Montez Ford, man.
Yeah.
That guy's money. All right, Vince, let them know about the the brand, my man, and be sure that all the haters join the brand and come over.
Yeah, guys, absolutely. You want to hate on me? Come on over, bro. Russo'sBrand.com. We have many shows, many different wrestlers on there, bro. Shows every single day of the week. Less than $5 a month. Come on over, bro. Russo'sBrand.com.
Indeed. Follow him at the Vince Russo. You see it under his name. You see it under my name at Chris Prolific. Come over to Pancakes and Power Slams as well. Go ahead and hit that sub when we talk about wrestling. It's just a Q&A show on Tuesdays after Unscripted. We have a lot of fun there. Vince has been on there several times, and we will continue to have a great show. See, you know what? People already got my my signature ending.
Yes,
They're already ready,
yes,
man. So
yes.
Vince Russo, Dr. Chris, have a good night, everybody. So long.